From the heartland of America comes a harvest of insight and entertainment. This is the Common Sense Coalition, the Derry Brownfield Show, starring Derry Brownfield. And here's the star of the show,
the man who says, since he learned there are 110 calories in a cup of Cracker Jacks, he no longer eats them from a cup.
Derry Brownfield!
Good morning. You're listening to the Common Sense Coalition this morning with Beth. And it is a Monday in Missouri, and I guess it's a Monday pretty much everywhere in the listening land. I have a quote I want to share with you this morning. I have a quote I want to share with you this morning, and it's, let us develop the resources of our land, call forth its powers, build up its institutions, promote all its great interests, and see whether we also, in our day and generation, may not perform something worthy to be remembered. And that is a quote by Daniel Webster. I have with me today in studio two guests. I have Mark Wright and Vince Finelli, and they are sponsoring and helping with a Get Prepared Expo, and it'll be the first one in Springfield, Missouri. Welcome, guys. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning, Beth. It's great to be here.
I'm going to let you introduce yourselves. Mark, you go ahead first.
Oh, okay. I'm Mark Wright from Springfield, Missouri. Represented North Springfield in the Missouri House for 8 years. I was termed out of the House a few years ago and started a business consulting firm and had a wonderful opportunity to meet the guy to my right, Vince Finelli, a couple of years ago. And we came to the conclusion very quickly that we wanted to organize a Get Prepared Expo, a preparedness expo. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Vince?
Mark, it's great to be here with you. Beth, it's wonderful to be here. Thanks so much. Mark, you're my favorite recovering politician. and that's because you're the only one I know that hasn't taken a bribe. Absolutely certain of that because I had to buy you coffee this morning.
But thank you, and I'm still drinking on it right now.
I'm a recovering banker. I work for some large banks in the country developing software and hardware solutions. And right now I'm a farmer. I've been a farmer for over 20 years. I just love it, and I'm living the Derry Brownfield lifestyle.
There you go. And they have a mission statement that I want to read for the GetPreparedExpo.com. It's an education-centered organization dedicated to improving the emergency preparedness lifestyle of American families by providing practical advice and affordable solutions through our Expo events, symposia, and charitable efforts. And we have lots of people that are going to be involved in this. And this one will be, tell me the dates, guys.
It'll be May 14th and 15th of this year, and it's going to be at the lovely downtown Springfield Expo Center. A couple of years ago, the city of Springfield built a new Expo Center, and so we're excited about having this event there. And basically the model of the Get Prepared Expo is this. We're going to have about 100 exhibits exhibiting on various preparedness products and services. We're going to have about 40 education seminars where we'll have instructors teaching people all those great self-sufficient turn-of-the-century life skills that we used to have in this country, like how to garden, how to plant, how to preserve, how to farm, how to use alternative energy, and gun training. We're going to have Missouri Concealed Carry orientation class there. So there's going to be a lot of different seminars. And this is only $7 at the door. As a matter of fact, if you go to our website, you'll be able to print off a coupon, a discount coupon for $5. So you're going to, for $5, you're going to get to see 100 exhibits, and you're going to get to see 40 education seminars. And on top of that, we're going to have a bunch of preparedness speakers, some very well-known speakers that, I think you've probably interviewed a few of them over the years.
I think I have.
Yeah, I think Sheriff Richard Mack's been on this program multiple times. He's going to be one of our speakers. We got Larry Pratt from Gun Owners of America who's going to be there.
Been a friend of the show for many years.
Yeah, and Bill Federer.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be there as well. And John Moore from RBN, and also John Statmiller and Pat Shannon. And then I think you're going to be there, too. Is that right?
I am going to be there.
Well, we're excited about having you there. It'll with all these guys, we need a lovely lady or two to come, and so you'll definitely spruce up the place. So, Beth, Derry was going to be at our show, and I heard he was pretty excited about coming.
He was very excited about coming, and And I guess I will stand in his place, but I sure cannot fill his shoes. But I will stand in his place and represent the Common Sense Coalition as we hope we can carry on as Derry would have us to do. You have so many that are going to be there. Let's talk about this a little bit. Now, you mentioned that you're, let's see, how did you word that? A recovering banker, and now you're a farmer.
Yes, I am.
What are you doing in farming?
I raise black Angus cattle.
All right.
I've got a cattle farm and got some head of cattle, and it's a full-time job. It's a wonderful lifestyle, and that's the kind of lifestyle that we're going to recommend that some of the people that live in the city that want to get out of the city consider moving to.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that are going to be going on. We have survival economics.
Yeah,
that's a big one right there.
Well, just let me give a brief introduction to Vince. He has an MBA, Master's of Business Administration, and he's basically an economist by trade. And this is a man who retired from the banking industry. He worked for 3 of the largest banks in the country as a credit card banker, a dreamer. He dreamed up all of their credit card systems. And he left there and started numerous successful businesses, including a communications business, satellite communications business. And Vince has lived the preparedness lifestyle for probably about 25, 30 years, very successfully. If it all came crashing down tomorrow, Vince would be A-OK.
We need to all go to his house.
Absolutely. I won't tell you where he lives because he's afraid you'll all show up. But he's been a great mentor for me the last couple of years. He's really helped me get prepared. And when he and I met a few years ago, we decided, I came out of government, he came out of business, and we started looking at the problems, and we saw the massive spending by the government and the massive debt, and we came to the conclusion that there's a financial tsunami coming to America. And we got, as individuals, we're fairly well prepared, but we see our family and our friends and the community that are not prepared. So Vince came up with the idea of getting all these experts together and getting people prepared. And so I think it's a fabulous idea. And Vince, if you want to talk about what you're going to be talking about in that survival economic course, I think people might be interested.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Survival economics is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. It's a lifestyle. It's looking at things for the long run. For example, back when I was young, I had a little business when I was 12 years old. I started cutting lawns, and my mom would take me to the gas station for 24.9 cents a gallon. I could buy some gasoline, and I could cut some lawns. And Beth, on this table, I have 2 quarters. One of them is from 1964. One of them is from 1964, and one of them is from a little later than that. If I took that 1964 quarter and I went to a coin store right now, I could trade that in for enough Federal Reserve notes to buy a couple gallons of gasoline. If I take the modern quarter that is sitting right next to it, I'd need a lot more of them to buy that gallon of gasoline. I'd need over 10 or 11 or 12 of them. The point is, if you look at economics, if you look at inflation, if you look at where we're headed, you can see a pattern. And that pattern is you need to plan for the future, and you need to invest carefully and wisely. And you need to put your savings into tangible assets, not necessarily silver, but equipment, supplies, spare parts, food that doesn't spoil, etc.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things that we're going to teach, how to do that, as well as how to start your own business.
And I think it's interesting that you say it's a lifestyle, and I think we've all, at least I'm one of those that needs this because I'm one of those that is not prepared. I'm not ready. And Derry preached it. He preached it loud and clear here. And he was doing everything he could to get his family and his livelihood there prepared and ready to go should something happen. But the lifestyle change is something all Americans need to think about because we want the economy to get better. We don't want to be bailing everybody out, but it seems like we don't want to give up anything ourselves. And so we are getting ready to go into a break, and you are listening to the Common Sense Coalition, and we will be back. And we have returned. You're listening to the Common Sense Coalition, and I have in studio today Mark Wright and Vince Spinelli, and we are talking about a Get Prepared Expo that is going to take place in Springfield this May. they just told me while we were at a break that they're going to give away, you're giving away, right?
Yes.
50 tickets. If you will go to their website and email them, the first 50 people will get free tickets, and that is www.getpreparedexpo.com. That's www.getpreparedexpo.com. The first 50 emails they get will get free tickets.
Yeah, Beth, if right there on the front page, if they go to the very top, they'll see our email address, or they can go to the contact page. It's their choice. And just put free tickets in the subject line. In the front.
Derry Brownfield.
Yeah, the free tickets for Derry Brownfield Show, from the Derry Brownfield Show, and we'll give away 50 tickets. Vince, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's great that you're giving away 50 tickets, but I'd like to give away 50 tickets
Well,
also.
why don't you?
Well, how about... Okay, so we'll each give away 50. Beth, is that okay with you?
50. You're going to give 100.
100.
I'm giving
50 and 50.
50 and 50.
50 and 50. So, all right. So the first 100 people to go to www.getpreparedexpo.com, the first 100, 50 from Mark, 50 from Vincent, will get free tickets to the expo, and that is May 14th
and
to 15th.
Absolutely.
And that is this May coming up. Let's continue. I see some other, we're going to do home safety and security. Refuse to be a victim by the NRA. Farms, buying your first one. Alternative energy and solar power. There will be a veterinarian, successful first-time farmer, hot farming. High-yield gardening. Emergency medical care and first aid. Self-defense for women and children. You know, I did that years and years ago. Everything is a weapon. Did you know that? Everything you have is a weapon.
That's for certain.
And I was taught that a long time ago. So, and canning from your garden. Marksmanship. We're going to have some Appleseed folks there, right? All right.
Absolutely.
And wills, estates, trusts, financial structuring, food storage, water storage and filtration, homeschooling. Great books on preparedness. So you're going to have there's going to be booths set out. This is kind of like, you know, when you go to these old I shouldn't say old, but the home shows, and we always kind of like to go through there, and I'm sure somebody's going to be passing out balloons and stuff, because you always get that stuff, right?
Absolutely. This is going to be like a festival. We're actually going to have Rural Chapel from the Ozark Mountain Daredevil. I don't know if you remember that.
I do know Rural Chapel. He has been here.
Oh, Rural's been here?
Yeah, he has.
Fantastic. Well, Rural is going to be there. The Well-Fed Neighborhood Alliance is going to be there.
All right. They have been here a couple of times.
They're going to exhibit, and they're also going to do a seminar on gardening and planting. And Rural Chapel is going to set up his little Ozark Mountain Daredevil band. We're going to have an open ceremony at 9:15 in the morning, and he's going to be there, and we'll have a prayer and pledge allegiance, and maybe a few speeches in the beginning, and then Rural's going to crank up the band. So this is going to be a really festive.
Yeah, he told me he plays, so
he's
they
great.
He
is absolutely great.
Outstanding. You're
All
going
right.
to love it.
So what is your passion, Mark? What is your passion here?
My passion?
Yeah.
I tell you, my passion is what I believe the Expo in its purest essence is all about is, well, basically what Derry Brownfield used to say. The best time to make a friend is before you need one. And when times get tough, those pre-existing relationships that you've developed is going to get you through. And you'll know who you can trust on and depend upon. And that's what the Get Prepared Expo is all about. It's a threefold purpose. It's about emergency and disaster preparedness. It's about living a more sustainable life, but it's also about connecting people, and that's the most important aspect of it. Vince and I, the last 8 months, organizing this thing, have literally made hundreds of new friends, and we're going to make thousands of new friends the day of the Expo, and I'm really looking forward to that. And,
what is the old saying? It's not always what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Not only that, I've met so many wonderful people also through this Expo. And one of them, who is a seminar provider, wants to be my neighbor, and another one wants to be my neighbor. So of all the people we've met, 2 of them are actively pursuing buying farms right next to my farm. So it's community building, it's trust, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Okay, and then so what is your passion?
My passion is helping people become self-sufficient. It's kind of odd, but this is really a labor of love. It truly is. Mark and I work on this. I guess when were we up? Until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning last night?
Yes, we were. It's almost every night.
Every night.
Yeah.
And we just love it.
Actually,
It's not work, is it?